Hi, my name is Courtney Devins, and
I am Maria Contreras Luna.
today we will be talking about our project that we did on doing business in Finland versus Spain in the United States.
The first thing that we are going to talk about is the cultural factors in Finland that impact business. We are going to focus more on that later, but a thing that we can say is like, as many Western cultures, handshaking is the common greeting. Finland is a low contest culture. Like, we compare Finland with Spain and United States. Finland it's more similar with United States in this issue, while Spain is more like a high contest culture. What I mean is like a low contest culture usually go straight to the point, while a high contest culture, first they want to trust you, they want to know you, and then do business.
Okay, and then for our next part, we have the influence of culturally based work-related values. And as you can see, there's a little chart there that compares all three of them. And culture is important to personality development, and cultural values help to determine individual and societal differences, which helps a lot with our study of 3 different countries here. Okay, so with the work-related values, we're going to do the United States first. Power distance is how people accept status and power inequality, and the United States has low in this category because superiors are really accessible and management empowers their employees. Then the next is individualism, which is the degree to which a society is interdependent on one another. And here it's high, as the United States has the liberty and justice for all. And employees are expected to work on their own. Next is masculinity, which is driven by competition, achievement, and success. And the United States is very high in this category, as we're a masculine society and we have a winner-takes-all mindset. The next one is uncertainty avoidance, and that is how people react to an uncertain future. And it's low in the United States. They have acceptance of creative and new ideas, and a lot of rules are not needed. Long-term orientation is low, and that is how people deal with the future. They have more of a normative idea, and Americans look for the truth. And the last one, which is indulgence, is how people control their desires, and the United States is very high here, as they're very indulgent and they realize their desires.
Talking about the work-related values in Spain, in contrast with Finland and the United States, the power distance is pretty high. The work hierarchy is accepted, and the employees expect to be told what to do. Individualism is actually medium and can be measured pretty subjective, because if we look the other European countries, Spain is considered to be a collectivist country, while we look, for example, Asia, and Spain will be considered an individualist country. So it's like a mix of both of them. Talking about masculinity, even if it's considered moderately low, there is still a difference between men and women in business, like in salaries or position, but they are becoming better. Uncertainty avoidance is pretty high. Like, people just want to have a job for the entire life. For example, there is a survey that they said that over 75% of young people in Spain want to work for the government. For example, in the States, it's only like 17%. Their long-term orientation is pretty low. They said that they just want to live the moment. They want quick decisions with quick results. Indulgence is pretty low. Spanish people tend to be pretty pessimist. We think very negative. But then we realize that our country is not that bad. Talking about Finland, the power distance it's pretty low. Like the States, superiors are accessible. They they care about the employees, they hear them. Um, Actually, they empowers the employees and they trust in them. Individualism is also high. They usually only care about themselves and their immediate family. And promotion is based only in merit. While, for example, in Spain, you have to have a pretty big networking to succeed. Masculinity is low. It's a feminine society. Women and men are usually equal, and they focus on the quality of life. Anxiety avoidance is also high. Intolerance of things out of the norm, like they care a lot about traditions, and they need rules. Long-term orientation is low, as in Spain. Um, they just they are just thinking about now. For example, they don't save a lot of money for the future. And indulgence, it's high. They they have money to spend in whatever they want. They are pretty. They have a pretty optimist mind. They are very positive.
Okay, and then the last thing we did was the insight for managers working in Finland. And based on power distance, we had the management by objectives, which is managers and employees jointly set goals and performance, which again goes back to how the managers are very accessible to all the employees. And then we have the external locus of control for long-term orientation, which basically says that they believe that their lives are controlled by outside factors rather than within themselves. And then based on masculinity, we have the Adams equity model, which has a lot to do with people in Finland like to know that their performance is going to be rewarded in an equal manner, having to do with the inputs and the outputs. And that concludes our study of business in Finland versus the United States and Spain.